Hello everyone, today I've got my hands on the Toyota IQ. Yeah, that tiny 3-door car with 4 seats and some space for your luggage, although that bit is a bit questionable. The IQ here is only 29 centimeters longer and 12 centimeters wider than the Smart 4.2. And given this car has an extra 2 seats in the back, Toyota had to make some innovative changes for it to work. First off, to create more space, they mounted a new front differential by pushing the wheels out right into the arches. And in all fairness, it didn't just help with space, it helped with the balance of the car as well. Secondly, Toyota decided to give this car a low profile underfloor fuel tank, which is located on the passenger side, and it only has a height of 12 centimeters and a maximum capacity of 32 liters, so not that much. Anyway, that brings me onto this car's economy. Currently, I'm not too sure what specific MPG figure I'm doing because it's flickering between 40 and 50, but that is pretty good considering I've done city, town, and motorway driving. Still got a full tank of fuel, which is great. And Auto Trader does say it does about 47 mpg urban, and then you get about 60 mpg extra urban. I must admit, the ride is really stiff in this car. It doesn't help the fact that this car doesn't really have much cushioning in these seats, and the seating position, to add, is pretty awful. I don't really like the seating positions in cars like these. You're sitting way too high up. In fact, it feels quite big, but from the outside, it's a really small car. However, it must not be that bad because I saw a French plated IQ in the UK a few days ago, so if they could bear it, sure, most people can. But without a doubt, this car blows its competition to dust. You've got the Smart car, which isn't sleek and stylish as this. You've got the Fiat 500, which I'm not even going to go into, and the Mini, that's not even a Mini anymore. The 6-speed manual gearbox, though, is, oh God. It's actually, I was going to say it was bad, but it's actually really good. It's shorter than the Toyota Aygo. Way shorter. The throws are way shorter anyway, and it's precise. It does definitely drive more like a 3-cylinder. Well, it sounds more like a 3-cylinder than a 4-cylinder. I was really surprised that this car has 4 cylinders underneath that bonnet over there. Let's not forget the Toyota IQ does have power assisted steering, unlike the Smart car from this era. And the more I drive this car, the more I'm baffled as to how many tech options, features there are. It's a really, really, really good car, except the ride is really stiff. It gets worse the more you drive it. I'm currently on the motorway, and I must admit, it's a cruiser. I'm doing about 60, 65, and it could handle, these speeds comfortably. There's not that much wind noise, believe it or not. I thought these mirrors would have been worse in terms of wind noise, but not really. Except one thing I don't like is the fact when you have the rear seats down, you could hear a load of tyre roar, and it just takes over cabin noise quite a lot. But I'm nitpicking at that, actually. That's quite it's quite unfair on the IQ that I'm saying that. Oh, we have the Toyota IQ's main rival, the Fiat 500. What a shocking car that is. Absolutely hate it. The new ones are alright, the electric ones, but those are shocking. Why do people still buy them? Get this, please. Big fan of the steering wheel, actually. Very sporty, a little bit of a flat bottom at the bottom side, but the grip is fantastic. Red stitching around it as well. There's some buttons for the volume, up down switches. That's fantastic. That is honestly fantastic. The dials in front of me are great as well, really clear. I actually get a rev counter, in this one, unlike you do in a Toyota Aygo. So there you go, and you get information as to when you should shift down or shift up, just so you could be a little bit more economical. This car just gets better and better the more you drive it. And it fits anywhere, literally anywhere. It is so small. The way you open the fuel filler cap is definitely from its era, as in, Japanese car era from 10 odd years ago. It's a little latch on the driver's side. You pull on it, it's the same as you'd find on the Kia Rio, and the Suzuki Swift. So I think we should swap over to point of view driving now so you guys get a feel of what it's like to drive from my perspective. So let me pull over, strap my GoPro to my head, we'll pick up from there. So guys, now let's go for a point of view drive. And what do you think of the interior of the Toyota IQ? Very techy and simple at the same time. Got a little bit of red accents going on here. Not too sure what that's for, but yeah, just look how small it is in general. There's nothing to it. Fits anywhere you want to. You could go anywhere. You know, it's such an easy car to live with on a day-to-day basis. In terms of visibility, well, it's fantastic. You can see pretty much everywhere. That rear quarter light, the rear window, out the door, it's fantastic. It's got enough power for the country roads. You know, you're not struggling up hills, as you can see. A lot of three-cylinder engine would have struggled up there. No doubt, a Corsa, most likely. And it's very, very nippy. The steering, you know, does slosh about a little bit, but it's direct, all right? In addition to the fact of how techy this car is, it is also very safe. There's 9 airbags all around, vehicle stability control, and also anti-locking brakes. Rear passengers do also get some headrests, but if you want to take them out, there's a little storage pocket underneath the seat base where you can store them, or you can store something else. I'm not too sure, you know, what else you can store. Yeah, that has endless possibilities right there. Right, I think it's time we did some pulls. So 30 to 60, you ready? Foot down, 3rd gear. It does take a while. Oh god. Yeah, it's very slow. There's 2 engines you could choose in the Toyota IQ. It might be 3 engines internationally elsewhere, but in the UK we get a 1 litre and a 1.3 litre. Now, my personal preference would be the 1 litre because if you get this car, you most likely live in a city and you probably don't need that extra power that you get with the 1.3 litres. Anyway, now let's pull over and talk about some of the IQ's finer details. It's hard not to make a small car look cute, however the IQ is the complete opposite. The sleek, futuristic design makes it look grown up, and just check out how that rear quarter light was designed. Almost makes it look like an Aston Martin. Oh wait, hold on a second. Anyway, I find it quite bizarre how electric car-y the IQ currently looks in 2021. Who would have thought it after all these years? Unfortunately though, there is some bad news. Production for the little Toyota IQ got axed in 2014 because the majority of new cars sold are SUVs, and cars like this have become a thing of the past. And so the model variant I've got with me today is the 2011 IQ3 VVT-I with the 1.3 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, currently producing 99 brake horsepower and 91 pounds for the torque. Believe it or not, it's actually quite a stable car at high speed, so if you like to max it out, it will do 105 miles per hour comfortably. In terms of second-hand car value, well, this car's done about 71,000 miles, so it puts it in the 4.5 to 5 grand price bracket. Running costs are really cheap as well. You won't have to take out a mortgage for your car insurance, and annual road tax only comes to £30 a year, as it only emits 113 grams per kilometre of CO2. As for the boot, well, considering this car has 4 seats, you don't really get much in the back of here. In fact, you get the same amount of space as you do the fuel tank, 32 litres to be precise. If I bought this car, I would most definitely use it as a 3-seater and have the seat folded down behind the driver's side, just so I could carry some luggage around. I think it adds that extra bit of practicality. Whilst creating more space on the inside, Toyota have been able to reduce the body size on the exterior. They did this by mounting the steering system above the engine instead of around it, leading to the front end being much shorter. In fact, I'll link down below a demonstration video by Toyota of how they shrink a massive Yaris into what this car is. It's extremely fascinating. Next up, let's talk rear seats, and the only way to properly get in them is from the passenger side. Toyota says this is a 3+1 because Apparently there's no space behind the driver's side and it is looking very tight in there. Anyway, the only thing left for me to do is to try it out, so wish me luck. Right, we're in. Oh god. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is very tight. Feel a little bit claustrophobic. But there's absolutely no way I am getting on that seat. Unless I get my legs amputated, there's no living chance in hell. You can't even fit a pencil down that in that gap. Oh my god. Anyway, that was really uncomfortable. Let me just try. Can we try getting to the driver's side? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, there's no way. There is cup holders in here though, which is great. 2 cup holders in fact. So at least they've made some use with that. But yeah, your mates aren't going to like you if you chuck them in the back of here, let's just say that. Moving over to the interior of the IQ, and given the tight parameters Toyota had to work with, they've also made some adjustments in here. For example, this car has an asymmetrical dash with no glove box, so the passengers have more legroom. The air conditioning unit is this small triangular unit with the least number of buttons on it, so it can be compact and as small as possible. Doesn't stop there though. The seats have been slimmed down for the rear passengers. Of course, that's going to be at the expense of ride quality. All this new space means the passenger gets the same amount of room as the Fiat 500. That's another reason why you shouldn't buy one of those cars. I would say the IQ is quite a premium car for its class because it comes with things like an engine start-stop button, eco mode, electrically adjustable mirrors. Even the interior lighting has a LED bulb in it that you could manually adjust the direction of the light. And so that's the in-depth tour and review around the 2011 Toyota IQ. Over the 2 days I've had this car, I've absolutely loved it. It's brilliant, and the packaging it comes in is very clever. Please, if you are a young professional living in a city, this is the car to get. Don't get a massive hatchback that looks more of a oversized estate. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.